so much for talking to the Rockpit. We're 15 years old this year, and I think we've pretty much covered everything that Tesla have done over that time. Um, Traveled to the States to see you many times, seen you support the Scorpions, seen you at Rocklahoma, and of course the time that you came over to Australia.
Yeah, well, congrats on 15 years. That's awesome, man.
Thank you.
Um, so yeah, we came over to Australia in 2007, and that was the first time Tess had ever been there, and we haven't been back since, which sucks because it was so much fun.
Yeah,
We did uh Sydney and Melbourne, and it was really great. I mean, it was a whirlwind trip. We flew straight from San Francisco to Sydney, and so we were really only there for like 2, 3 days. I think we had one day off in Melbourne, but like right after we flew, so the jet lag is pretty intense.
yeah, yeah. And of course, early days for you back then, joining in 2006, almost 20 years now.
We get to come back. It would be great.
Yeah. And there's a new single out. It's coming out on limited vinyl on 29th of November. Four versions of the
Yeah,
new song on there. Um,
right.
Tell us about it.
So yeah, the song's called "All About Love," and we've been doing it live actually for a good 6, 8 months now. And we were even doing it before we recorded it. So if people watch any older YouTube videos of it, the song has sort of changed a little bit from when we initially started playing it live. But yeah, it's been in the set pretty continuously since since the song was more or less finished, and then we recorded it a while back, and just been Brian went in and made some different versions of it, and then thought, oh, what if we do an acoustic version? So we then just pulled the electrics down and listened to the acoustic version, but then it's like, oh, it'll be better with new drums, like a different feel for an acoustic version, and if we add more acoustics to it. So because when we were in Vegas for one of the residencies,
Mm.
we recorded a bunch more acoustic guitars on a day off, and then I think Steve flew out to Brian's and recorded new drums, and so this whole amalgamation of different versions of it that all have like a different feel, and then there's of course a live version of it. So it was a lot of fun to make and sort of hear these different iterations of the same song. But the song's really cool. We're really proud of it, and it sounds like to me it sounds like classic Tesla. That's the real classic sort of JK Jeff type lyric.
Yeah, it absolutely is. It's a fantastic song. I checked it out on YouTube, so I
Oh, thanks.
can't wait for the vinyl to come out. You finished touring for the year, but you've already got some stuff lined up for January, and of course the Monsters of Rock cruise, where I think I saw you back in 2015 on that. So it's always a great thing to do.
Yeah.
But Tesla's always struck me as one of the few bands out there though that really knows how to look after their fans. I was a fan club member back in the day when you used to send out like signed stuff and things like that. But also as well,
Yeah.
when I saw you in Phoenix supporting the Scorpions a few years back now, must have been around that time. Um, you did a whole free meet and greet there. So that connection where a lot of bands, uh, I guess, don't do quite as much for the fans. Where's that all grown up from? I mean, you sort of got.
Well,
There you go. Sorry.
I think Tesla just always had a. Oh, sorry, cut out. What were you saying?
No, it just cut out. Sorry.
Okay, yeah, no problem. Uh, Tesla, I think, has always had a really strong connection to the fans. I mean, I remember when I was a kid growing up, like they always seemed really approachable, and when I joined the band, I found out that everyone is real approachable, and since I've been there, yeah, we're always saying hi to people, and and hanging with people after shows. And yeah, we used to do a lot of meet and greets. Before, after, I mean, we were doing all sorts of stuff, and then we were doing a lot of the VIP, like sort of exclusive type paid things, but we did like really cool ones where you got a lot more than a lot of bands give you. um and that was always a fun thing too. So we've always just been really connected to the fans. We're one of those bands, like, you could always find us like somewhere, like if you wanted, like, we're gonna be like walking to the bus or walking around the venue or going to the coffee shop across the street. If you're ever at a show, and like people come up to us all the time, and everyone in the band's always cool to say hi. So it's
Yeah.
it's a cool vibe. There's not like any attitude.
Oh no, it's fantastic, and that really makes a difference to us. I remember on the cruise talking to Jeff for quite a while and thinking that I was bugging him, but absolutely not. Always got time for everybody. One of the things I always
Absolutely.
like to talk to people about when they come on is that, like, I know a little bit about your history, but I obviously knew where you grew up, and that you were sort of like active in bands before Tesla. But
Hmm.
what was the moment that made you want to be a musician? Like, for some people, there's a defining moment. There's like something they see,
Yeah.
something they hear. What was it for you that started it all?
Oh man, I mean, it's like maybe a few different things. I was uh, um I was, what I would consider lucky, that I always wanted that. Like, I don't remember not wanting to be a musician. Like, when I was like a toddler, I was just really, really into music, and that's all I wanted to do. Um, Literally, like, at 3. So it wasn't so much of a conscious decision. It was just like, well, that's what I'm gonna do. Like, it's kind of funny to think about it now, but that's how I always, like, what else would I do? Like, that's what I gotta do. So I guess that was maybe just the viewpoint that I was coming from. But then, yeah, I mean, a few things, like, I remember getting Thriller, Michael Jackson, when I was like
Oh,
really
wow.
young, like 5, and that record really, really impacted me. And I used to listen to it all the time, and I'd dance around the house and lip sync to the whole thing, and I knew all the words. And then probably the two other things. One, I saw in the theaters back when they used to release stuff in theaters. I saw U2 Rattle and Hum um, in a movie theater, and that blew my mind. Like, I already wanted to do it, but like seeing that, like, on a big screen with the sound, like, they're one of my favorite bands. But I mean, that's a pretty inspiring movie. So I was like, oh yeah, it's on, and that was a big one. So kind of pushed me further. And then as I was getting older, I got hearing Appetite for Destruction for the first time.
Yeah.
That was the another one of those big light bulb, like, whoa, this changes everything. And that's what got me into like heavier, like rock, like guitar rock. And so from then it's just been full force pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, that was a seminal album, I think, for a lot of us. And one of the things, we've got a
Yeah.
little radio show that we do locally over here, and one of the things that we ask people is, if you could have been a fly on the wall for the creation of any great album, what's the one that you would love to have seen made in the studio? So I know
Jeez,
that
I mean,
there's loads of stories about Appetite, I guess. Is there another album that sort of like you think, how the hell did they do this?
oh gosh, yeah, okay. So I'm in. I'm trying to think of like a good, like, that has a particularly rich recording, history behind it. I mean, yeah, definitely Appetite. Maybe like, what did I just lose? I mean, I guess it's probably a common one, but like Exile on Main Street, that was
Yeah,
probably a pretty interesting reality show right there.
yeah.
that
I
was
think
a good YouTube short.
I think that would have been incredible. I think it took place over quite a prolonged period of time as well, Exile. So that would have been,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, who wouldn't have wanted to see? I guess one of the greatest albums ever. I mean, both of them. Appetite is one of those things where you think, how can someone make a debut album that good? And then you realize, I guess, that bands have been around for a while, when they come up with a debut. Hence why that first album's always so good. But bands like Tesla are ones that constantly amaze me because, I mean, take one of the more recent albums, Shock, where I think one of my favorite songs on there is Afterlife, which I think you had a hand in, and
Yeah.
also the title track as well. I mean, Tesla just consistently make great music and have done over the years, which I guess leads me to the
Oh,
next
thanks.
question. With the new single coming out, it's been a while, I guess
Yeah.
5 years since the last album. Will there be another one around the corner?
Yeah. Well, so first, thank you so much. Appreciate it. No one ever brings up Afterlife too. That's really cool. I love that song. I forgot about that. Yeah. I don't know. We talk about it now and then, but like usually sort of the prevailing wisdom is the way we've been doing it. Like this is a special thing because we're putting out a physical vinyl
Yeah,
and it's like, an EP with multiple things. I think there's a live song on there too, you know, and then this different acoustic thing. So there's some other new things altogether with it. Um, but all the other ones that we've done the past 2 3 years have been just one-off single releases, digital only, that we then play on stage and make a music video for. And so this is just sort of a glorified version of still keeping that same sort of strategy. And I think maybe we'll probably just keep doing that, and then maybe I don't know, maybe eventually collectively release them or throw a few more on and turn it into a new album so there's something new for people to get. But it's nothing super pressing,
yeah,
um, because uh, we're really lucky that the fans that we have are really diehard fans, and there's you know we're one of the few bands like a legacy act where a lot of the fans still actually genuinely do want to hear new songs, um, and we appreciate that. So it's like, and it's fun for us.
mm,
But we am I still there? Yeah, okay.
still
So
there.
we enjoy doing it, and we know that a lot of the fans like it too. But at the same time, people really are there for the classic stuff, and so we're not really ever going to do more than one or two new songs in a set, anyways. And to make a full album, we'd have to take a long time off of the road. So it's kind of like, I think Brian put it this way recently. It's like, well, would you rather get to come see Tesla and see all the hits, or that we go away for a while and come out with a new record? So um, it's not a hard answer either way, but it's just like, well, it's also and the economics, because in rock and roll and really most genres, but particularly rock, like you don't make any money from recorded music anymore, like zero. So um, you spend money, like it's even with the ease that a record can be made, and that we all have recording setups, and some people have full-blown studios. It's still a lot of money, and just not being on tour means we're not
Yeah,
making any money. So it's kind of, and then you put all this work in and time and money, and then you come out and it's basically just people listen to it for free on their phone. So you don't ever get the recoupment back, other than the touring and the promotion and publicity of it, but that it doesn't even out. So
no,
it's easy to just do one song and then just put it out, and then it's like, okay, whatever. We spent a little bit of time and money, but it wasn't like we got to stop our lives for 6 months and go into record mode, which is so much fun. And I really wish it wasn't this way, because
yeah,
that's when I was growing up. That's what bands did. Like you take time off, make a record, then you go into tour mode, then you go make another record, and it was like a finished piece of art, and like the time capsule of where you were. All the cliche stuff, it's true, and that's definitely, to me, a real downside of the way the business has changed.
it absolutely is, and I think you've encapsulated that pretty much perfectly. I mean, the great thing about Tesla is such a fantastic live band. It's always there's always seems to be a tour, which is fantastic for me because I can plan my holidays around a trip to the States, which is always good.
That's great.
Now, there's a couple of questions we asked people the first time. The first one was that fly on the wall question, but the other one that we like to put up on radio is a really easy one. What is the meaning of life, David?
Okay. Ah, oh my gosh. I don't know. I like the fly on the wall one's good. I've never heard that question before. Let me think about meaning of life. God, I don't know. I can't. I don't know. I can't do it. I can ask. I'll come back to that one.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. With the break from touring at the moment, I think you resume again in January. What do you get up to? Are you recording anything for yourself? The Dave Rude Band? Is there anything going on there?
Well, it's funny. I just um, saw the post a couple of days ago that it had already been a year since I put out the my last Dave Rude solo record, which, like, wow. That's, so people are like, yeah, the new record is like, well, it's a year old now. I guess it's not new. So funny how time flies. But that was the last sort of like real, solo thing that I've worked on. And still talks of maybe doing some shows. It was very close to happening a few times earlier this year. That circumstances out of my control, the tours didn't go through. But so if there was solo stuff, maybe some live shows. And I'll probably do more solo stuff. I write songs a lot, and I do songwriting and producing type stuff for other artists. I just got back from Nashville last night. I was out there for a week doing that. So that's sort of what I do outside of Tesla. That's where I focus is trying to be a co-writer and or producer for other bands and just artists. And it's a really it's a really fun outlet. Like that's really what I love to do outside of Tesla. So that's sort of, I do a lot of writing and recording, but it's usually more like
Mm.
ideas for other people. But sometimes they just end up being like, well, this is too weird. This is all me right here. Like I don't think anyone else is gonna want one like this. So, kind of put that in the pile for like next solo record,
Yeah.
material, right?
It must be fun though, like seeing new artists. It must be inspiring to like be in the studio with some kids like making rock music.
It's just, yeah, it's great to it's fun to see something that you had a part in, like see other people singing it. It's like, whoa, like that's awesome, like just because I've been in Tesla for a long time, so like we write songs together and then we go play them.
It'd have been lovely to
Oh,
see you there again, like not on
yeah,
stage. But if there's just one thing you could do for us before you go, um,
sure.
we can't play it until release date, but I'd love you to just do a little intro for us for the radio, just for the Rockpit
Yeah,
of the new
for sure.
song that we can play later.
Yeah.
And then we're collecting
Okay.
15th birthday wishes as well. So if you wouldn't mind wishing us a happy
Okay.
15th birthday, we'd love that. And then at the end of the year, we're just going to put them
For sure.
all together into one big video.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds great.
I'm ready when you are.
Should I go, or are you like,
Yeah, no,
okay,
no,
cool.
no.
And it's just happy 15th to the Rock Pit. Would that be what it is?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool. This is Dave Reed from Tesla, and I'm happy to wish fuck that one. Let me get you a real one. Okay. This is Dave Reed from Tesla. Happy 15th birthday, Rock Pit.
Thank you so much. Ace Frehley took 15 takes.
How many?
15. You got it in two.
All right, dude. Okay, wait, and let me give you one for intro for the song.
Perfect.
Okay. Hey, this is Dave Rude from Tesla, and this is our brand new single, All the Love. Check it out on the Rock Pit.
Thank you so much for your time, Dave. I really do appreciate it. I'm
Oh man, no problem.
hoping to catch you guys again. Like I was clocking it up over the years. I'm one of those sort of like nerds that has a spreadsheet of all the concerts he's been to, and I realized I'm stuck on 24 with Tesla. So the first time was back in the day in my hometown, Nottingham, Nottingham Rock City. Back, I think it was
Oh yeah.
the the guys came out. They did a signing for I think Edison's Medicine had just come out from that
Whoa, cool.
acoustic album. But that was where it all started
Yeah,
from
we
me.
did Rock City a bunch of times.
Yeah, Rock City's fantastic. It was like my home. It was my home away from home. It was so many
Yeah,
bands there, but you guys are always fantastic. Never been disappointed by a Tesla show, and to me, that's what it's
thanks.
about. Live music is where it's at for me. So can't wait to catch
Totally,
you
dude.
again, and hopefully
Hell yeah, man.
we will get you again down under, so I don't have to travel quite so far.
Dude, I'd love to. It's so, like it's hell of expensive. So most bands don't get there because like when we were there, it was great, but we were fucking doing clubs. So it's like, oh man,
Yeah,
thank you so much for having me, man. It was great talking to you.
no worries. Thanks, Dave. Really appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you.
No
Bye.
problem, man. Take care.